Everything we do here at James Project focuses on caring for vulnerable women and children because we believe that's the call that God has placed on every one of us as Christians.
We're back with a March update with Bryon Applegate. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm here in Guatemala. Tiffany and I are down here. I've been here for about a week, and we head home tomorrow. But it's been great.
Yeah, great. The weather is much better there, I'm sure, than here. Although it was 60 yesterday here, so it's down to 30 again.
It's gotten up. Last couple of days has been 88, 89. So it gets, if you've been here before, you get in the sun, it gets pretty warm pretty quickly. But in the shade, it's pretty comfortable for the most part.
That's good. So lots of new things going on down there.
Always. God is always on the move, always working, always doing things and changing things. And we're just blessed to be a part of what he does here at the James Project.
Yeah. So what are some of the newest things that you see him doing?
Well, we can start with, we just harvested this, I don't even know how much, this massive amount of onions.
Wow.
I mean, if you've been here, our stage was just packed, and not to the ceiling. That'd be really significant. But it was a lot of onions. I know that.
Yeah.
And each bag was it was somewhere between 85 and 100 pounds.
Wow.
And after we donated, we always tithe on what we harvest. And after we did that, and we've kept enough for our kitchen to use, before they would go bad, we ended up shipping them out. A truck came in, took them to the city, and we sold all of it. So it was a huge blessing. Yeah, huge blessing. And Papa Ugo he works so hard and does such a good job. He actually had to hire, I saw 2 different days, people to come in just to harvest the onions. And I saw 6 people on last Saturday. I assume the same people came back on Sunday. But yeah, it was significant.
Yeah. He must have been so happy. He loves his crafts.
He did such a good job. Yeah, he's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's wonderful. All right. What else?
So there's we have a lot of staff changes going on. A lot of turnover and different things. Some things are up in the air. But if you are a team member who comes back, just expect some changes. Some maybe significant changes from what you're used to. But God, like I said, God is working, and He puts people in place that He wants in place, and sometimes those don't work out. Sometimes He calls people away from the ministry. So one thing that we always have, or you can always expect here, is change. And we think everything is, all changes for the best. If it's from Him, for sure.
Right. And there are different seasons for different people. Even in our own lives, people come and go, or at businesses in the U.S., it's the same. It's not unusual.
Right. And in ministry, ministry is taxing. It can be very tiring, and house parents, especially because they're in the front lines. Sometimes they get in it and they can't do it anymore. And then we have people like Ugo and Maritza have been doing it for almost 20 years.
I know.
So we do have some new house parents coming for Casa Tabitha. They start next Monday. So I got to meet the house dad, but I haven't met the house mom yet. But it seems like a great guy. And if you're a team member and you've been to La Fabrica, he used to be their main cook.
Oh, wow.
And so, I don't think he's going to try to continue that. I don't know how that he would, but so hopefully the food there doesn't change, because we love eating there.
We do, yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. And you had recently brought on house parents. We were talking about one of them is a young girl that used to live there, right?
Yes, Marina. Yeah, Marina, and his real name, I believe, is Adolfo, but they call him Chofo. So it's a kind of a strange nickname, but they are in Casa Abigail, and they are loving it.
Good.
They are. Marina is so happy to be back and giving back, and they have a little baby who's just as precious as she can be. And what's really cool is Marina was here with us for, I think, 16 years total.
Wow.
When we came our first time in 2006, she was here. She was one of the original girls that we met. And
Wow.
we sponsored her for years. And then she graduated, went to nursing school, got her nursing degree, moved to the city.
Mhm.
There she met her husband and started a family. And now she's back. And what's really, really cool is that she grew up in Casa Ester
Yeah.
her whole time here, except for when the transition home, she was in Casa Ester and named her little girl Esther.
Oh, that's
It's so
so
sweet.
amazing. Yeah. What a great legacy moment to just see that progression of a young girl that grew up there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. We're so happy to have them.
Mm, that's wonderful.
And they're doing
And
a
what,
great.
yeah, because what a unique perspective she brings as a house parent to have been a
Yeah.
child there, you know?
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks, maybe first month or two, it was a little eye opening for her, but I was just talked to her. She said they're very content.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's great. And the children, I'm sure, are blessed to have them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And he, in the interview process, we didn't know him, going into it. And um, I've watched him, not just this trip, but previous trips. He's a good dad. He's a good house father. He's very interactive with the girls. He plays with them. He laughs with them, and spiritually he's sound. That's one of those things that's very important when we do, especially for house parents,
Mhm.
in the hiring process. And he has shown that he is very spiritually sound and loves the Lord and loves being here serving.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Because it is a different type of work, this ministry.
It is. It's very hard, and if somebody isn't close to the Lord, they're really going to struggle.
Yeah. And other things will be enticing away from that, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you also had some churches there this past weekend and some other locals, right?
Yeah. So Tiffany and I have been so happy that the local church and local people in general are getting more and more involved here. I mean, it's when we came, we took over in 2013 as directors, we really didn't have any support from the community. Our families were going out to churches, and they would occasionally come and do things, but now it's very consistent. And the
Mm,
donations that are coming in from the locals I mean, it's happening 2 or 3 times a week sometimes.
wow.
So we got here last Friday night, and there was a church here ministering to our kids.
Mhm.
And then not Saturday, Sunday, another church from Guatemala City came and had service and brought donations. And during that service, another organization came and brought a truckload of clothes. I mean, it's
Wow.
just been, yeah, it's exactly what we've always wanted. And
Mm,
praise God.
yeah. And that's amazing to have a church from the city come because it's a 3-hour ride from the
Yeah,
city.
that's
Oh,
happening more and more. I mean, that church is fairly new here, but other churches are coming from the city to
wow.
minister here. Yeah.
That's really great to see that faithfulness from the Guatemalan people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we first came in 2013, churches were knocking on our doors wanting handouts so they could run a VBS.
Right.
And now it's the opposite. The churches are wanting to give to us, and that's the call of James 1:27,
Hmm.
caring for widows and orphans. We're very blessed, very happy, and I just pray that it continues because
Yeah.
our kids, it makes a difference in our kids too when they see, oh, it's not
Mhm.
just the North Americans that can come and give and serve, it's our people can do it. So when they leave here, hopefully they remember that,
Mhm.
and they'll step out and help in their communities too.
Yeah. Yeah, that is wonderful. So happy about that. You also have some new babies on property, right?
We do. Within the last couple of weeks, we've had 2 babies born.
Hmm.
They're just precious. I mean, all babies are, but it's so fun to watch those young girls. I mean, one of the moms is 13, the other is 14.
Wow.
But to watch them, and they're still kids, don't get me wrong, but to see them change from girls to mamas,
Yeah.
and that program is so powerful. We're
Hmm.
so blessed to have that to help these kids, and they didn't become mothers by their choice.
No.
They were all victims, but they love their babies. They really do.
Hmm. And for them to feel empowered by the program and the support that they're given to step into that role as moms and not fear it and not back away or shy away from it and let someone else take care of their babies, that they really do want to learn how to take care of those babies and learn to be good moms so they can
Yes.
give kids a
Yeah.
different future. It's
The
really,
education they receive in that house is it's incredible. I mean, there's a
Mhm,
lot of wives' tales and myths and mothering practices that aren't necessarily the healthiest here, and we've
mhm,
been able to break down those myths, whatever you want to call them,
mhm.
and really help them be good moms and to be healthy moms as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they love that they can go to school while
Mhm.
they're here. They have
Yeah,
safe people to watch their babies while they go and continue their studies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's such a remarkable program. I'm so happy they're there. I'm not happy that they have to be, that there's
Right.
a need for it, but because there is a need for it, I'm glad it's available to them.
Yes.
And you may potentially be able to expand on that, right? Because right now the Casa Maria houses 6 moms and their babies.
Right. And so
But
we have actually had the money for a while. A donor has paid to build a second maternity home and furnish it, and we'll just go right on top of Casa Maria, and it'll be called Casa Elizabeth.
Mhm,
But we've not started construction because we are still waiting on approval, accreditation from the government agency here that gives us that. And the reason we're waiting is because if we started construction, we'd have to redo paperwork,
mhm,
and we don't want to. We're
mhm,
so tired of doing paperwork over and over again. But to kind of change the subject a little bit, we submitted our paperwork, everything again,
mhm,
completely last week. And we are hoping we get the answer soon that everything
mhm.
is in order and we will receive the accreditation. And really, we can operate without the accreditation. It's not like they're going to shut us down. But it's just a constant. Once we have it, we don't have to worry about it for another 2 years.
Mhm.
We can just do our thing and not have this hanging over our head all the time.
Mhm. Yeah. Wow. I will be praying that that really does.
Yeah, we
Um,
feel really good. I don't know why. This one feels a little bit different. So we're
mhm.
praying, hoping and praying that this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what a stress relief it will be because it's been a long process, over a year, right? Trying to,
Oh gosh, yeah, it's been a long time.
yeah. Yeah.
And when just different things have happened in that process, that so we had to start over. For instance, whenever they change presidents,
Mhm.
um, the president hires all new staff in all the departments. So we were working with one group of people, and then we have to switch to another group of people, and their opinion of what needs to be turned in is different, and so we
Right.
had to start over. And then
Mhm.
there was some legal issues in that department. Some corruption was discovered, so we had to
Mhm.
start all over again. It's just been very frustrating.
Yeah, definitely a good test of patience because it's not anything you're doing wrong, and that's almost
Right.
why it's
Yeah.
frustrating because it's not anything you can actually fix on your end.
Right.
If
Exactly.
you could, you would. You're just waiting
Yeah.
on God's
And,
timing.
and honestly, sometimes it's like they just want a report in a different format,
Yeah.
or they want an additional something or other. It's just, yeah, yeah. To have that all behind us, so our staff can focus on the kids, will
Hmm.
be a huge relief.
Yeah, yeah, because it is quite a taxing process to keep working through that paperwork. And what a blessing it will be to have another teen pregnancy home.
Yeah.
Again, a
The
sad thing
need,
that we
yeah,
need to have them, but
the need is
um,
so great in this country.
and you have a fundraiser coming up back at
Yeah.
home.
So, I know. I feel bad sometimes because I shouldn't feel bad because it's a blessing, but I feel bad that God has blessed us with so many matching grants in the last couple of years
Yeah.
that I feel like some of our donors may, have donor fatigue. Oh, they got another one, or, I'd help the last one. I can't put this one. But I mean, the opportunity to double your money, invest in this organization, in this ministry, in the lives of these women and children. Um, you can't. We have a pickleball tournament coming up. We have
Hmm.
our annual golf tournaments. We have two of those every year. Last year we started this pickleball tournament, and it's coming up again. So it's in the springtime. It's the only thing we have going in the spring, that we just finished the big $125,000 matching grant to
Yeah.
end the year with. So now we have another 25,000 matching grant that comes along with this tournament. So, excuse me, we're really behind
Okay.
with this one. Again, I think it's maybe donor fatigue, but if people would join us in prayer that, for sponsorships, for just donations, we're even behind where we were last year on players. And we maxed out last year, our first year, and we kind of expected that same thing. But right now it's not looking great. Not that it can't happen.
Right.
But if anybody would want to give to that, we would so appreciate it.
And it's so great to see when I see a matching grant, I get excited that obviously God is moving hearts because you're not asking for these matching grants. People
No?
come to you and
Ah,
offer them. So
yeah,
it's God on the move, And so to get to partner with him, Jim's famous saying is, find out where God is working and join him, and
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's very encouraging to me to see that people are giving these matching grants because it really speaks to the value of the ministry and how it impacts people because they're moved to do this. These are not small amounts of money. They are massive amounts of money that people just want to pour into the ministry and to be able to match them. That
Yeah, and what's been great, I mean, like I said, it's been over the last couple of years. We've had some significant ones,
yeah,
and we've met them every time.
right.
I mean, that's to get them is one thing, but to meet them every single time is, I mean, it's totally God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's
So I
all
don't
His, and He knows what's going on, and our job is just to share. And
yep.
we don't like asking people for money to donate, but we just have to share. I mean, it's part of the job. Yeah, it's part of the responsibility we have, and we
Right.
can't do what we're doing down here without funds. I mean, that's just plain and simple.
Right. Right. Yeah. And again, it's such a blessing to be able to participate and know that your money is doing something. It is changing eternities, it's changing
Yeah,
present lives, but also for eternity. So it's really great return on investment, like, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
very
If anybody
little.
wanted to give, it's super simple. You just go to our website, jamesproject.org, and then
Mhm.
you go into find the campaign page, and it'll be on there, and you can give
Yeah,
that way.
that's great. So yes, we will trust God that he will match this one as well and bring the players and everything else you need.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I mean, I have no doubts. God always provides. It. Tiffany and I, especially Tiffany, she worries a little more than I do. But when we get close to the date of the event and we're behind, it does create a little bit of stress. But
Yeah,
God always comes through.
he does. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for her to practice that faith.
Yeah, yeah.
I pick on her sometimes. And so you have a team there right now, right?
We do. This is a new team. They are from the Portland, Oregon area, and to my knowledge, is the first team from the Pacific Northwest we've ever had. And so, yeah,
Great.
it's very exciting to have them here. They're having a great time. They're doing great things, and they actually have already invited us to come speak at their missions convention, banquet, whatever they call it, a year from now, basically. And so we're making plans to head up there and share.
Great. That's amazing. Um, and you have a very busy team season right now, right?
Yeah, so we've had several teams back to back. We have two more after this week, and I think there's a little bit of a lull before the summer picks up. But yeah, I mean, we're blessed to have lots of people involved, lots of teams coming,
Hmm.
and we just look forward to what God's going to do through those teams because they are a blessing.
Hmm. And Carolyn and I were talking about this on the podcast we just did, and it was just wanted to let you know what a blessing it is for teams to go down because she was pointing out how welcoming they are and how open the organization is for just different people to come in and do things differently or offer something different or change up the schedule a little bit. I mean, within reason. And we were joking about how can you imagine if the new people came into your home every other week and wanted to run your household differently, and that how hard that would be. So it just speaks to the passion that the staff has for the ministry, that they're willing to open their arms and say, sure, you want to try that? Let's do it, for all the different teams that show up week after week. It's
Yeah, and
amazing.
there's actually, this team has done something that's never been done here before. And the head pastor of this church is a beekeeper. So we are in the process of trying to capture a swarm of bees and move them into a more permanent location.
Like a
So
hive.
all the guys, the men here, including myself, were educated on how this whole process works, and they brought the bee suits and some of the tools that are needed. And so we're really excited that someday we will have fresh honey from Guatemala.
Yeah, that is so cool. So cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love those unique and different things that people bring, different ideas that try to help the ministry. And it's a great distraction for our kids and our staff. They do like it a lot. And they pray for our teams all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it just speaks to their desire to walk out whatever God asks of them on any given day.
Yeah.
Because it's usually different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not that flexible on a regular basis.
We're very flexible, yes.
Yes, yes. And also the Redeemed Women's Land, the Village of Hope is going well, the buildings or the
Yeah,
building.
there's a team here recently that donated a generator so we could run pump and get water. So basically, they're pouring concrete, and you have to have water to do that. And so our guys are having to fill up buckets and barrels to get the water to take it wherever they're going to be pouring or mixing. And with the generator, they don't have to do that. They can just run the pump and have it right there on hand. So, yeah, I haven't been over there yet. We're going this afternoon. I'm anxious to check it out and see what progress has been made.
Yeah, because they're pouring the cement for the new buildings, right? The homes.
Yeah, the first threeplex, we're calling it. Yeah, is under construction right now.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
I know there was a team down there that I used to be on that got to work there. So
yeah,
a team member was sending pictures. I was a little jealous, but I was happy to get the pictures.
For all teams, there's always going to be work there for the next several years. So
yeah,
who's willing to do hard labor, move rocks, cut trees, that kind of thing, it's available.
That's good. That's good. Because it's so neat. The first year I went down. My mom went with us, but she hadn't been down since the property was first bought in Monjas. And she helped build the foundation for the first duplex. So she hadn't been back in 12 years. So it was so neat for her to see what had transpired in that 12 years from the time that she was there. And so I feel like it was neat. I'll have that same experience at some point going down, because we got to look at the land last year, but there was not a wall there. It was we just looked at the land and prayed over it. So to be able to go down and see the transformation when I finally get back down there will be exciting.
Yeah, we love that when team members come and they haven't been here and they see that, like I said before, there's always changes going on, and just see their reaction at what's happened since they were here last is always fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Always something new. God is always on the move.
That's right. He is.
Anything else? Did we miss anything?
I think according on my notes, we've covered.
I think we've covered it all.
About everything.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to, sorry, this one is a little late. I was out of town and you guys were down there. And so trying to connect at the beginning of the month was challenging, but we'll do a better job next month.
Well, thank you for doing it every month. We appreciate it. We need to grow it and get the word out to more people.
Enjoy the rest of your stay and have safe travels home. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy.